Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna, and today I am here with the amazing Lee Newton. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Donna?
I am doing wonderful. And as we always talk before the show about the weather, still sending some warm weather north to you. Getting out of Florida a little bit.
We need it here in North Carolina, that's for sure. Yeah, most definitely I've got to have some warm weather. It has been rainy and cold here, so send it on.
Will do, for sure. So we'd love to start off with the most difficult question.
Ooh.
Who is Lee Newton?
Who is Lee Newton? Lee Newton is this crazy woman of country that lives in North Carolina. Lee Newton is that's a good question. Wow. Lee Newton is full of fun. Lee Newton loves to live life and love to sing about it. And I love to make others laugh. I love comedy. Lee Newton's just pure life, living life to the fullest. Yeah.
That is a beautiful description. I love that one.
That's pretty much it. I live each day like it's going to be my last. You just never know. So take joy in everything, and music is a huge part of that. You know, my family, music, and just so much passion. And you know, everything I do, I just try to bring smiles to everybody's faces and stuff. And that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Good music, food, family, you know, like just the simple things.
Food. Life. Yes, food. I love food.
I think we're just going to do the whole food show after the music, you know? I'm telling you, we're just going to.
I love to cook. I love to cook. So all the Southern foods that are very fattening. All the time.
And that's why we stay busy. So we can eat those great foods, right?
Yes, because you have to be able to lose the weight. You got a few months and you eat, and then you have to lose for this event or this event. And yeah, now I'm like, oh gosh, I'm getting married in June, so I've got to make sure that I fit into my wedding dress.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. We're super excited. It's going to be a huge event. It's going to be at the Johnny Cash Farm in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. And we've done like an open invitation to everybody because he knows so many people. I know so many people. So, we're already up to like 400 to 500 people that's coming. So it's going to be a shindig. You should come on from Florida.
I should
come up. By that time in June, we'll have tons of hot weather. You'll be used to it. So it'll be awesome.
Okay, perfect. I may just be there. I'll just come and we'll just start filming things and be like, hey, celebrity weddings, here we go. People Magazine, we're ready for the photo shoots and all. Let's do it.
I'm telling you, there's going to be helicopters flying around. It's going to be a main event.
Oh, well, I'm excited for that. So tell me though, in the meantime, who are some of the women that have inspired you musically?
Oh gosh, this one is like so super easy. I'll start from the beginning. Patsy Cline was my first cassette ever that I ever owned, and I learned every song on that cassette and drove my mom crazy, literally crazy, no pun intended, by singing those songs over and over. Then, of course, it was Loretta Lynn and Tammy Wynette. Then it went into the Judds, and when I first was introduced to the Judds, I was like just mesmerized. I loved them. And it was during the time, I fell in love with Lori Morgan. So those women being country are the ones that really inspired me a lot. Then, of course, a little bit later years, Shania Twain, she just kind of really revved it up and really just busted through a lot of doors for us women. I mean, she made it okay if you wanted to be a little sexy here one day and then want to wear your jeans the next day. I mean, she, it was pretty cool. She broke through so many different walls for us. So, and then now, I would have to say Ashley McBride. She's one that I just really look up to. And I really love women who write their music and they express themselves, and their songs are stories about them. And I just feel like when you listen to their music, Carly Pierce is another one. You feel what they're writing. You know that it's come from their heart, and it's music that they have lived. And that's what I hope that I do with my songwriting. And when people listen to my songs, which I do get that a lot, that they can relate to them. So, but those are my main women that I've always looked up to. Susan Tedeschi, though, on the blues side. Rhonda Vincent on the bluegrass. I've just got them all over the place. So,
and that's perfect. There's, it's like I said, someone said to me one time, they were talking about more into like some rap and R&B. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's, good music is good music. It runs across the realms and it's relevant even 20 years later, even though, when they talk about dialing up someone, I'm like, yeah, you're really dialing, or, sometimes you're not really dialing anymore. You're just like, hey, call so-and-so.
It's called, dial it up. I remember dial up was when I had the computer that I was having to dial up on the internet, and you get the,
Yes, ma'am. I believe that first main server was like AOL, right?
Yeah, and the way I've always looked at it, I love traditional country. That's where my roots are. I love the storytelling. I love the heart. I love the sound. But I do love the blues. I love Southern rock. Back several years ago, I got to sing back up with 3 original members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. So that really, through these past several years, I won't say, but really put a lot of Southern rock flair, and you can really hear it in the song Carolina. It has that Southern rock feel to it. So I love being able to listen to different genres and just kind of take them in. I don't really listen to a lot of the modern country, and it's not because I just don't like it. I just try to not listen, because with writing, I'm sure you're that way. I'm afraid I'm going to take in something and like, So I usually just listen to a lot of the artists that, like I said, that Patsy Cline, Loretta, I'll pop them in. And yeah.
So were you ever forbidden to play Patsy Cline around your mom? I just want to know, because I had the Dolly syndrome where I wore out a couple Dolly cassettes. Like I had to rebuy them. My mom refused to buy another one. Like I used my own allowance when I had allowance, So...
Well, my mom, I had a little Walkman at that time, and my mom and we didn't have a vehicle. I grew up. My dad was a cab driver, and even though he's a cab driver, he would have to pay if he had to take us anywhere. So we didn't have a lot of money. So my mom and myself, we would walk around the neighborhood, these little old ladies, and we'd go visit them. And I remember having those headphones on and singing. So all she could really hear is me singing out loud. She couldn't hear, Patsy through the other the earphones. But I remember she never really said anything except, dear Lord, I'm never going to get out of this phase, But then I went to I'll never forget. I had a little red record player, and I had, and I know you'll remember these, the Go-Go's. We Got the Beat.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Okay.
Yes,
I had the little 45 record of that, and I think I played that one song over and over and over and over. And I think Mom was literally ready to throw out the record player. But yeah, that was probably the only one that she was really perturbed with. Like she was just ready to either kick me out of the house or throw the record player out.
Oh, that's great. I love it. So speaking of music and releases, you have a new release coming up. You want to tell everyone about your new release, Working Girl Blues?
I do. I'm so excited. I mean, the album came out a few months ago. And of course we're in the new year, so I can say last year, but it was just a few months ago. And Working Girl Blues is the only cover on my album, Unleash. but it is a cover of Merle Haggard's song Working Man Blues, but I did Working Girl Blues, which is a remake that Leona Williams had done. And she was married to Merle, and they, did duets. She had sang years before she had met Merle. Actually played bass in Loretta Lynn's band too, and actually her and her husband had wrote a song for Loretta's one of her albums. And Leona Williams is just a legend within herself. So anyway, so I reached out to her to be on this song with me, since she was the one that had redone it. And I was like, yeah, I've got to have you on there, Leona. Will you sing with me? And so she joined in. My producer reached out to Pam Tellis. So I was sitting there going, yeah, Pam is not going to get on there with me. Within like 30 or 40 minutes, Pam called my producer and she was like, I'm in. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is super awesome. So it just all started really coming together. And Leroy Parnell came on to play the slide guitar, and a couple other players, Eugene Moles and Joe Reed, who had played with Merle as well, played on it. So the whole song and project just became just very magical, and it really, people have been playing it all over. It's already, I had my interview with Bill Cody on Coffee Country and Cody with WSM. He was playing it, and it's not even been released. He really, at Muletown, like all the DJs are playing it. And I'm like, I hadn't even released it yet. And they're like, well, I guess it's released now because we're playing it. So, but I'm super excited. On February 14th, the actual official release of it's going to be there. And I'm just so blessed with the way the reception has been on Unleashed. I won Album of the Year with it at the JMA Awards that they had at the Opry, Grand Ole Opry House. So it's just been such a blessing. The songs have meant so much, and I'm super thrilled and super thrilled that this is the next release. So.
Oh, it is awesome. So I'm excited for everyone else to hear it as well.
And everybody can pre-save it starting February 7th. So February 7th is the pre-save. And you can go on my website, which is LeeNewtonOfficial.com. And there's a link on there to pre-save it. So I'm so excited.
So go check that out, everyone. After the rest of the interview, because you want to hear the crazy questions.
Oh, yes. You got to stick around for this. Then go to Lee Newton Official.
And links will be in the description as always. So make sure you go check it out.
Yes.
Oh, so as we're continuing with new music, tell us all about the new gospel album coming out.
Oh my gosh. The gospel album is just literally has been such a labor of love. And that's what I've called it, because with Unleashed, it was such a full production, and there was a lot that went into it. Halfway through it, I ended up getting a sponsor, which was Luke and Benita Givens. They just literally stepped right in, and they helped me finish the rest of the project with the album, or it would never would have happened. So when I knew that I was going to do a gospel album next, before I did another country album, recorded anything else, the gospel had to happen. And so I was like, well, God, you're going to have to help me. I don't know how I'm going to do this after coming from just this release of this one album. But he made it start happening. I mean, right and left. I've got Larry Strickland, Naomi Judd's husband, who produced half of the tracks on there. I've got John Heinrich that's produced the other half. He plays saxophone with Ronnie Millsap. People started coming from the woodwork, all these artists, Ben Isaacs, Joe Bonsal, Dale Houston, T. Graham Brown, Kathryn's going to be on there. We got a song that we're going to be doing, and Mackenzie Phipps. This whole project has just been, like I said, a labor of love. I mean, it would not have happened if all these people hadn't to come and just kind of join forces and be like, yes, I'll help you with that. Or yes, I'll be on that album with you. Or I'll help you with this. Or, oh, I'll come and play piano for you. I mean, it's just like everything's fell into place. And it was supposed to have been released a little earlier, but God wanted more songs on that album. So we're holding out, and this thing is going to be like you're going to go to church on a Sunday morning, and you're going to be coming out of there ready to go down and get baptized. That's all I got to say.
Oh, well, I'm definitely excited for the new album coming out.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm pretty sure it will not be any later than the middle of March. Like I said, the last one that will be going on there is the duet that me and Kay Ship, Kathryn Shipley. If you have not heard of her, please. Oh my gosh, like she is amazing, is she not? Like hands down, the sweetest, most genuine person that you're ever going to meet. And me and her have just bonded over the past couple years. And we either video each other or text, or I mean, we've just always had this bond. And this song that we're doing, it's called I'll Be There. And it's just so perfect for her and I, of what we've both kind of went through. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Definitely excited. I mean, I'm a fan, so yes.
Yeah. And well, I mean, music her and voice, writing. Oh, her voice and the harmonies, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I had to wait. I had to hold out for that one to go on the album. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it on mine, and I think she's going to put it on hers. And
wonderful. And I love how everything falls into place. I've always been a person that believes that everything happens as it should. Sometimes it doesn't work out as we expect it, and there's a reason for it, but
most definitely. I mean, just in my journey, I have always sang since I was a little girl. And I've been in cover bands where I've been the singer. I've been in bar bands. I've traveled everywhere, but it wasn't in God's timing that it was for me to, when I started writing songs and becoming the artist that I truly am, and get to put my music out there. And it's just to be able to put a message out there. It's not about making it big and rich and famous stuff. It's not trying to chase that dream. My dream is to be able to play music and to be able to make a living and be able to, put my message out there to help people. And I know that that's what my mission is, through my songs, because some of the songs that God gives me, I know that they're straight from God, and I know that, he makes a way for me to record them, to put them out. So it's just, I give him all the glory.
And that is just beautiful.
Well, thank you. It's been a beautiful, it has been a very, I did Robin Tanner with Cross Country Magazine, and she ended up putting the same article in the Cash Box, the 80th anniversary edition. And she called it, the name of the story she wrote, she called it A Beautiful Ride. And that's exactly what it's been. I mean, that sums it up. This has been the most, there's been so many ups and downs. And I believe that God gets you to go through things to where you can use those situations that you've been in to witness to other people. And like I said, I know down deep in my heart what my mission is. So I'm just letting him lead the way. And if I feel led to do something, I do it. If I was on a label, they probably wouldn't like me, because I just go like by the seat of my pants. Whatever hits me or whatever I feel, I just kind of do. So I love that about being independent. You can kind of do and make your own rules. There's no rules in music in this industry. I mean, things have changed so much. You just kind of do your own thing now.
And that's it. That's exactly the bonus and perks of being an independent artist. Yeah. And like you said, you just want to be able to make a living. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not saying that if somebody wanted to come by with a really good deal, I'm your girl, but we can talk. But you know what
Let's
I mean.
negotiate that. Come on.
Negotiate. If you're out there and you hear this, then we can open it up. But I mean, I just see so many people, they're in it for the wrong reasons. They're just in it and you can feel it, you can see it, and it's so fake, and it's so, I just can't stand that. I like genuine people. I like genuine music. And I've told somebody else this, I do love all different genres, and I feel like a song is a great song, and no matter what genre it is, if it's a song that really truly moves you, no matter what genre it is, So, but yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to admit, I'm a fan more of songwriters. Yes, of course, I love Reba and Dolly, but Dolly songwriter first, right?
Yes.
I have just been a huge fan of songwriters first, and then, it kind of like, I remember a time where I could mention the name Lori McKenna, and everyone's like, who? And I'm like, exactly, exactly. Now you just mentioned one of her songs, like, oh, who that writer is now.
Yeah, and what's crazy, and I never got this because I just started writing songs about 2.5, almost 3 years ago. Okay. I always thought which I was always told, oh, you can't do that, or you're not good enough to do that, or, I've always my whole life. And so when I started writing songs, and then when I went to record them, and then I saw the whole process, and I'll never forget when I wrote Strength of a Woman. And I don't know if you've heard that song, but that's one that's on the Undamaged album. And it's a song from God, because I've touched so many people with that song. They've wrote to me, and with all their stories, but that song, I'll never forget what I was feeling like when I was writing it, how it helped me heal while writing it. And then I recorded it, and God gave me the way to record it. And then when it was sent to me and I heard it for the first time, and then I got to like put it out to the world, I mean, that feeling of writing, that's when I felt it. I was like, this is what it is. That's the songwriting. And when you have people singing your song or writing to you now, I mean, I get that now, for sure. I mean, before I was kind of like, I'd sing all the others, not to say that I didn't feel the songs that I sing, but they were not my songs. But Betty, when you write your songs and sing, it's a totally different feeling. It's like you're bringing a baby into this world, and you're like caressing it and like bringing it to, and you're like walking around, and like, it's just, it's just the proudest moment for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And even obviously I'm not a singer, so I stay away from that realm, but
everybody usually can sing.
You're right, everybody can sing, but some people should be some people should not be allowed to like sing professionally. That's where we'll leave that. Okay? Just because I can occasionally carry a tune in a bucket doesn't mean
but you're right. So you've got to be able to hum and keep it tuned, for sure.
I can articulate at least how I hear it or something. If someone else is more musically inclined, that's usually what I team up with, is that musically inclined person to, But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love the songwriting is one of my, and I've really embraced it a lot. I mean, like I'm constantly writing. I've constantly got a song in my head, and there's some. It's amazing. And I remember hearing, and it's so true. I heard some kind of interview with Loretta Lynn, and she was talking about when like a song would come to her, that she would not leave that room until she had it done, because she was saying, God's give her that song, and she was not going to leave that room. She was going to make sure she finished that song, So I try to put that in my head when I have a song come to me, because it could easily go to somebody else, So I take that time to really, to take it in and get that song done. So.
The advantage now is when you're on the go and you can't take that 5 minutes to the phones now, you just type it all in and you're like good to go.
Well, okay. And two,
at least there's the most of it.
Well, in Strength of a Woman, a lot of my songs, I'll be on the road, because I do a lot of writing on the road. And of course, I can't sit there and write it. Now, I have pulled over and wrote a song on the side of the road because it just kept coming. And I was like, okay, I've got to pull off. But because I'm not 6 hours from Nashville, so I travel a lot back and forth. But a lot of mine, I'll have my little recorder in my phone, and I start singing, then I'll do another one, I add to it. I'll have the whole song done, but I've still got the Strength of a Woman. I was listening to it not long ago, how the little pieces, and even some of the way it was going to go, and then I ended up was right there almost getting like the lyric to it, and then like listening back to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was the beginning of it. I could hear my little boy talking in the back seat as I'm singing. I mean, it's just wild how and then that song was actually what they played when I walked up on the stage at the Grand Ole Opry. So it was just it's a very cheerful moment when I hear that song. So
well, that is awesome. So we're going to break now and go into 20 crazy questions if you're ready.
Okay. Let me get something to drink about my Chick-fil-A here. Okay, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay. I promise they're not too difficult and we won't get arrested yet. So tell me, do you have any guilty pleasure music? The music that's like hidden that no one knows you really listen to?
Oh, honey, I love some salt and pepper. Yeah, ask my older son about that one. Yeah. Salt and pepper is the one I love listening to. And MC Hammer.
Oh, that's good. That's definitely, yeah. We've been alive in the 90s when you have a song like MC Hammer or an artist like that.
And MC Hammer, I posted a TikTok of me dancing in a thrift store with him, the pants on.
Uh-huh.
He liked my dance on Twitter. MC Hammer. I was like, it was so cool.
Definitely. Oh, so tell me, if I said today your favorite single is.
Oh, I have to pick?
Yes, just today, not like forever, just for the moment.
Of mine or somebody else's?
Whatever, your favorite song. If it's one you're working on right now, like your favorite, then pick one of yours.
Oh my gosh. That maybe is a hard question. Let's see here. I would have to say Carolina. That's my song, Carolina. It's the first one that I wrote with my fiance, and it's kind of like a little. It's a tribute to my mom and dad. So yeah, I'd have to say Carolina is my favorite.
Perfect. Tell me, best concert you've ever attended?
Oh my goodness. And this I'll have to say, because this is the one that made me cry 3 times in the middle of this concert. Shenandoah. Oh my gosh. Totally surprised me, but oh my gosh, Marty Raybon just literally, I sat there and cried 3 times through his concert. It was amazing.
Beautiful. Tell us, recommendation, albums or artists we need to listen to before we die?
Oh, Leona Williams. Any one of her albums. Love Leona Williams. Let's see here. Leona Williams and Leona Williams.
All right, there's your recommended listening to, people. Let's go check it out then.
Yeah. Leona Williams is. I would highly, if you have not heard of her, you need to go and check her out. Her song, she's a songwriter, and she is amazing. Even at her age, she just had her 80th birthday party, and I was there at her party, and I'm telling you, that woman can still belt it out like no other, and so absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, if you have not, and a lot of people, some, not a lot, but some that when I've mentioned her name, they're like, who? And when I tell them to go listen, and they do, they're like, thank you so much. So yes.
So go check her out.
Go check her out.
Now, I know this may not really apply because you've already won your first award, but let's say you're winning Entertainer of the Year for the first time on the CMAs. Who is the first person you're going to thank?
Everybody thanks God, but I would thank my mom and dad, because I did with my other awards, for the simple fact that my mom is the one who taught me how to praise the Lord, and taught me about God and Jesus, and my dad's the one that taught me about music, and taught me how to play the guitar. And without both of them giving me, Jesus and music, it would have to be my parents. So
Beautiful. Tell me something on your bucket list.
Oh, and my fiance's in the other room. He's probably going to laugh at this. And it's really not on a bucket list. It's on a list of doing it because I'm scared of it and I want to do it. But where you get up in the ocean and you get up on the thing where it takes you up in the where you're up above the ocean. What's that called? Parasailing.
Parasailing, yeah.
That's it. It's kind of like on my list to prove that I'm not a scaredy chicken. Because I am a scaredy chicken when it comes to that. So that's on my bucket list.
Well, let's do it. The first time I did it was down visiting Key West, and let me tell you, it was awesome. I will say though, as I've gotten a little older, the speedboat, when you go in reverse, I noticed I have I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little motion sickness. Okay, just relax.
Really? See, when we were down in Florida and Panama City, we went down there to see Lori. And when she lived there, and then we went to Destin, and I thought he pulled into a place where it said that, so I thought he was taking me there, and my heart just sunk. We ended up getting the jet skis. So, but I want to prove to him that I can do it. So that is bucket list. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we should make a group together and all go do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll come down there to you.
Okay. Sounds good. It'll be like we'll do honeymoon next year in the winter and do it in the winter here because it'll be beautiful.
Oh, see, it'll be perfect. Perfect.
Oh, so tell me, do you have a favorite vacation spot?
I'll tell you, I've went on more vacations and trips in this last 2 years than I think I ever have my whole life. I'm trying to think of the most favorite one that we've went on. I know, I'll tell you, I really loved Mexico. We went to Mexico and I really enjoyed it a lot. It was just beautiful, and the culture is beautiful, and people were so nice, and there was a lot of food and hot sun, and it was awesome.
I see the theme. Food, sun. Get it. I get it.
I know. I mean, you mentioned anything with food with me, and I'm in. Food and the sun. Yeah. I'm perfectly in.
Yes, absolutely. Count me in too. Yeah. I'll make sure you have my number. You can just call me.
Yeah. Hey, we are going to get together.
Oh, so tell me, books. Do you prefer paper, audio, or ebooks?
Most definitely paper. I am horrible though about reading, just with being a mom and even like the way I am now with trying to keep up with everything all at once. I don't never have any time to really sit down and read. But the last book that I read, and I will highly recommend it, is William Lee Golden's Behind the Beard. He wrote that book, and it is amazing. And he gave it to me when I visited his house. And I highly recommend that book. Amazing book. So yeah, that's probably the only exception that I've read a book in I don't even know how long. So but I never crazy. The TV. I never turn the TV on either. If that's just the type of person. I'd rather have music playing or writing music or playing the guitar. It's just how I am.
Oh. So if we made a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
Oh gosh. Well, she'd have to be blonde and make me look really little. Let's see. Gosh, that's I don't know. I don't know enough. Like I said, I don't know enough of the new actresses to even, I love Jennifer Aniston, but I don't know if she's a little bit older than me, so I don't know if she could play me or not. But I don't know. That's a good one. I just have to think about. I'll have to get back with you on that one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll wait to call them up and be like, hey, we like your audition. So
yeah.
So,
but I did hear that Dolly is going to be looking for somebody to play hers. Dolly, hey, I'm in. I can play her.
We have a Dolly player here. Come on, we're ready for auditions. Let us know when the auditions are. Lee will be there.
I will get my hair blonder, and we got it.
And fluffier.
Fluffier.
Yeah, fluffier everywhere, right?
We can do it.
Oh. So, do you sing in the shower?
I sing everywhere. I'm not a shower person, so I love baths. I'm still one of those. I guess I grew up I didn't have a shower when I grew up. We just have a bath, and so I mean, I'm not opposed to taking a shower, but yeah, bath. So I sing in the bath. I sing in the car. I sing in the living room. I sing in the grocery store. Anywhere they'll let me sing, I sing.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Oh. So tell us, either your best or your worst job you've ever had.
Oh my gosh. Well, the best that I loved it so much. I was a project manager for a plumbing company. So I did everything. I would go on job sites, did everything with sewer lines and water lines and plumbing. And it was really awesome. I really enjoyed that job. Now, probably one that I didn't like was when I was 14 and I worked at Long John Silver's. So yeah, that was, I was young, but I'd always get burned all over from all the grease splattering up, and my hair was always greasy, and and being 14 and I'm in like your face with the whole my face, Lord, yeah, that time of growing up is not good. Having a ton of grease, it was just everywhere.
Yeah,
that's probably the worst.
I don't think that was jobs around grease.
That was probably the worst. But yeah, I mean, but I've always I've always worked since I was even before then. When my dad had died, I would, and I don't even know if people even still do this, but I was telling my fiance this a few months ago, and he kind of looked at me like, I remember being 10, 11 years old, and I would get out with a 5-gallon bucket when it would rain, and I would pick night crawlers. And so I would fill the big 5-gallon bucket full of night crawlers, and here I'd go walk out half a block out the road to this little place, and I would sell them. But that's how I made money then. Yeah. I don't know if they do that anymore.
I don't really think they do. I mean, I know I grew up, one of the guys I grew up with, he now has a actual worm farm that he does that. That's like his business. So he loves doing that, obviously. But I can't say that I did where I was in, there wasn't a big fishing area there. So we did things like we did way back in the 80s. I'm going to date myself here. We did those rocks before it was cool to paint them and put things on them and call them pet rocks. It was pet rocks back then. We used to paint them really nice and stuff.
Yeah.
It was 50 cents a quarter. Yeah, it was cool.
I know people used to catch night crawlers, or worms, they'll laugh at me because they're looking at me like, I mean, people did this, but you can make good money, and that's how I helped my mom, after my dad died, so yeah. But Long John Silver's.
Yeah. No. Well, so tell me, favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, or foods out of those? Do you prefer breakfast over dinners?
Chocolate is my favorite of all time. But I love a good rack of ribs. If you get, I mean, oh my gosh. And it has to be cooked exactly right where the meat just falls off the bone. And the barbecue sauce has to have a little spice to it. But yeah, a rack of ribs is like my absolute favorite, hands down food. But you give me anything chocolate and a cup of coffee, and I am so happy.
Oh, well, I should have called you last week. We had ribs. They were on smoker or whatever, and perfect.
Oh, man.
So, we are so getting together for food. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So, do you have a game plan for zombie apocalypse?
I got my fiance.
Your game plan.
We got a BB gun. No, I mean, I would probably, oh my goodness, I would probably just run. I mean, I've watched a few of the episodes of Lost at the very beginning. So yeah, all I would know is to get a ball bat and like knock him over the top of the head or something. But yeah, I've watched just enough. I'm kind of like with Grey's Anatomy. I've watched just enough Grey's Anatomy to where I feel like I could be like a nurse or even a surgeon or something.
Well, so tell us, what would you never do?
What would I never do?
Skydiving?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I would never skydive. No, that would never happen. There was something else I was trying to remember. There was something else that we were just talking about the other day about doing. I was like, no, that one. Oh, scuba diving. I would never go down and scuba dive. There is no way. I don't even think I'd even snorkel going halfway. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I don't want to be down there with the
sharks. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. No, I'm pretty risky. I'm pretty good about like being spontaneous, but there's certain things like that. Like, I'm like, no, I don't think it's for me. Or those bungee things, the bungee jumping and all that. No. But the bucket list with parasailing, I am going to try to do that. I think that if I talked myself into it, maybe I could do it.
It is fun. It really is. I'm just saying, if you have a little fear height thing, it's still fun. It was beautiful. Yeah.
I just, I guess I'm scared of it coming down and like hitting the water and like maybe the water feeling like pavement or something. I mean, I don't know. What if, I always think about the what if, but I don't know.
You're not going that fast. You're good. You're not going that fast. You're not that high up. You're good.
Okay.
Well, you're high up, but you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to do it. I'm going to come to Florida.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. Hopefully I can be there that day. Hypothetically, if I came to you and said I needed to hide a dead body, do you know a good place?
Actually, no. These are crazy questions. Oh Lord. Yeah, I live in North Carolina, so I mean the places are endless around here. I mean, you're talking, we're in the boonies out here. Lots of woods.
Lots of woods. Lots of animals with woods, right?
Lots of coyotes too. Yeah.
Oh. So I've been asking everyone this question because we grow old, we never grow up. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, I'm doing it. I hope I can keep doing this and keep acting like I'm 20 years old, running around singing and playing. That's what I hope to keep doing when I finally grow up.
Oh, perfect. So tell us, is there something you're afraid of? What are you afraid of? Spiders. I'm pretty sure the whole height bungee jumping, we got that.
Yeah. The way people drive oh my God, they scare me to death. Yeah, people need to just slow down. Oh my gosh, people need to either leave their house a little earlier, or just, I guess I get so used to going these back roads and just kind of enjoying the scenery. And I'm not a granny driver, but I'm borderline. I can get up there fast with everybody else, but that's what's wrong with everybody. They live so high pace. But yeah, I would say that's what I'm scared of. I'm not too much scared of anything else other than that. I don't like crazy traffic and big trucks, and I guess you see all those wrecks. That stuff that I get scared over that. Yeah. You're not one of those fast drivers, are you?
No. I'm one of those, when people are in my car, they're like, "Are you going to drive faster?" And I'm like, "You're in my car. If it was by myself, I'd probably drive faster, but I'm not that. Yeah. I'm not like a fast speed demon." In fact, when I got pulled over, everyone's like, "Wait, you got pulled over for speeding?" I'm like, "That's it. I quit. I leave. I'm leaving."
And I'm the type of person that gets in behind a vehicle or a truck, and if they're going slow, I will stay in behind them. Mm-hmm. I'll slow down to what they are. I'm not in a hurry, so.
Unless it's like a cement truck, then I'm like, no, it's gonna like follow me or something. And it's like
Oh yeah.
final destination. I have to move away from it, or logs, or any of those weird things.
I'm even that person that will actually put in the no highways to do any kind of back roads to go places. That's just, but you get to see so much by doing that. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot that that you can see if you just take back roads and slow down. Everybody who listen to this, take a back road every now and then.
Yes,
it'll do you
absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
Well, so tell me, if you could be any person, like Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, whoever, or position like a CEO or surgeon, who or what would you want to be for the day and why?
Oh, I'd love to be like the president of like a big, huge record label company. And then I would be like, oh, there's Lee Newton in North Carolina. Look at that Carolina girl. I'm going to sign her to a huge record deal. And yeah, that's what I would do for the day. And then when it became me, I would have a record deal the next day.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. That's a good way of thinking about it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, can you leave us with any good words of wisdom? Do you have any that you follow that you'd like to share?
I say this to about everybody that I talk to. Every day, try to leave people that you meet or you run into, leave them feeling better about themselves, or leave them feeling in a better position than what they are when you found them. Like when you leave them, make sure that you've left a great impression on them. Try to help people. Believe me, it comes back 20,000 folds to you.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. So, what do we have going on for the rest of 2023? I know there's some good stuff coming up, some concerts that I've heard about.
Yeah. And this is going to be the newest news. You are going to be the one that everybody will get to hear it from here. But I will be opening for Randy Travis this year. I mean, there's several other shows that's happening, but this one right here is so dear to my heart. And when I found out that I was going to get to open for him, I am so stoked about that. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. It's going to be in July 21st in Tennessee at the Country Tonight Theater, and East Tennessee Concerts is putting it on. So come on out. It's going to be a blast. I mean, I know my dad is smiling down because Randy Travis was his favorite, and then I think
so cool.
Between Randy Travis and Keith Whitley, those two right there was the two that he listened to before he passed away. So to be opening for Randy, and I listened to Randy with my dad so much, so that's a huge thing. But I've got that. I'm doing a thing with Today in Nashville, doing a couple songs that'll be on TV. So I'm super excited about that. Got the wedding coming up in June. So we're planning on that. And then I've already, getting ready to start work on the third country album. So like I said, there's just a lot that's getting ready to come about. And I'm just ready to see what 2023 is going to bring.
Absolutely. Well, lots of busy craziness, it sounds, so far.
Yes.
I mean, just planning a wedding is that in itself sometimes. So
I know. And I'm like, it's already almost February, and there's a lot to plan. So super excited about that. I think it's going to be one of, like I said, a big event. We have people coming from everywhere because he knew a lot of people. I do, and then we met a lot of people. So it's going to be huge.
Awesome. And congratulations again on your wedding.
Thank you.
And it has been a pleasure having you on today. You are welcome back anytime, Lee.
Oh, thank you so much, Donna. And I just had the best time. And I can't wait for you to hear the new album, and especially the one with me and K-Ship. So
yeah. Oh, awesome. Awesome. And thank you, friends, for joining us for another episode. Remember to go check out the links in the description and pre-save the newest songs and albums. Have a great day, everyone.
Woo-hoo! Bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.